Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. A lot of people are asking about Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s retirement announcement, April 25th, 2017. I'm going to show you what this ritual is all about. It has a lot to do with his father's death, February 18th, 2001, at the Daytona 500, a little more than 16 years ago. So, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 42 years old. We're going to talk about why that number is so special at the end and how it connects to his father's death. I just want you to see that April 25th, when he announced his retirement, he did it from Concord, North Carolina. North Carolina, the birthplace of NASCAR. Concord, North Carolina, as it's written in the article, is you'd write it on an envelope for a mailing address, Gematria 44, just like Earnhardt. And remember, this number has a lot to do with death and killing. And it is my personal belief that one of two things really happened to Dale Earnhardt Sr. on February 18th. And we're going to get to why. But those two possibilities are he faked his death for his son's future career, fame in part, or he was injured and I don't think he died naturally. If he's really dead, I'm quite certain he was murdered as a ritual sacrifice, as murder by numbers. And if that sounds ridiculous to you, please check out my work. My work has a lot of evidence behind it, and please stay tuned until the end of this video. I will explain why I am stating what I believe. So anyhow, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 42 years old right now. In the language of Gematria, retire sums to 42. And if you want to do this with me, I'm going to link this Gematrinator calculator. You can pause the video, go down, link this website, and you can just type these words in as we go along. These four methods right here, they're all based on the alphabetic order. English ordinal is A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z, the 26th letter is 26. Reverse ordinal is Z is 1, up to A is 26, forwards and backwards. And if you play around with this system, you'll see how relevant terms are forwards and backwards. See my work for more information. Reduction is taking the alphabetic order and using the laws of numerology to make every letter a single digit. So for example, if we were talking about a word with a Z in it, Z wouldn't be worth 26 in full reduction. 26 is 2 plus 6 equals 8. Make each letter a single digit, then add the word. Reverse reduction, the same thing with the alphabetic order in reverse. So these are real Gematria methods. This is part of a real system that is built with a lot of mathematical synchronicity. And again, I have thousands of videos making these points, but just to appreciate this system, this is what it is. Based in old world knowledge. Gematria is thousands of years old. The English language is built on this Gematria system. With regards to 42, we're in 2017. 42 years ago was 1975, the year his father began his racing career in NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt Sr. became a pro driver for NASCAR in 75. The date of the announcement of his retirement, a date with 66 numerology. 66 when written out has Gematria 49. And his father died February 18th, which is the 49th day of the year, 31 days in January, 18 in February. He died at age 49 years old, and his birth numerology, being born April 29th, 1951, a date with a life lesson number of 49, which we'll get to. And 49 relevant to racing, which we'll touch on. Race car, Gematria 49 with the alphabetic order, just like speed. And what do people watch NASCAR for? They watch it mostly for the excitement, the speed of the cars. Some people appreciate the skill. A lot of people are waiting for the big wrecks. So you see the word revelation up here. We're going to talk about how important revelation is to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Revelation is the final book of the Bible that teaches about the number of the beast, 666. We're going to talk about that. When you write out 66, it sums to 49 like Revelation. Revelation, Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. When you write out 66, it also has gematria of 67. Revelation also has a gematria connection to 67. So do the names Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jr. Again, Jr. put in his retirement on a date with 66 numerology. In North Carolina, the birthplace of NASCAR, North Carolina 67. In 1955, the original NASCAR racetrack was paved for the first time. It was a dirt track from 47 to 55. Martinsville has gematria of 55, the year that it was paved. Jeff Gordon, we'll talk about Jeff Gordon, who just retired last year with 93 wins. But anyway, Martinsville also has gematria of 55. This is a very special number in numerology. In this study, in the Fibonacci sequence, instead of elaborating on 55 and all the mathematics behind it, just take my word for it. Very special number. In this nation, the national speed limit is 55 miles per hour, the national highway speed limit. Jeff Gordon, a name in the sport with gematria 55. The name Earnhardt also shares this gematria 55. 55. In gematria, numerology equals 55. So does the word Fibonacci. Two very important words in this study of numbers. The word Satan has gematria 55, as does God. Again, very special number. Dale Earnhardt. His real first name is Ralph, just like his father. Ralph, a name with 55 gematria. So, notice the October 10th, 1974 birthday. Talk about why October 10th is so special. Ralph Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ralph Dale Earnhardt Sr. share the gematria of 121, also like Revelation. Revelation equaling 121 with the alphabetic order. The square root of 121 is 11. 11 times 11 is 121. If you add 1 through 11 together, it sums to 66. Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. Dale Earnhardt Jr. putting in his retirement on a date with 66 numerology. Now notice his birthday of 1010. In Jewish gematria, Revelation equals 1010. October 10th, 1974. That happens to be a date with 113 numerology. 10 plus 10, 20, plus 19, 39, plus 74, 113. The word apocalypse has gematria of 113. And apocalypse, its real meaning is to have a revelation. You know, it also has this association with destruction, but it means revelation, you know. So there's this relationship. And there always is. If you're new to my channel, I'm talking about how important the book of Revelation is in this numerical coding system. The name Philadelphia, the original nation, or the original name of the capital of this nation, that comes from Revelation in the Bible. It's another topic. But notice Apocalypse also has the gematria of 49, like Revelation. You know, Dale Earnhardt Sr., dead at age 49 on the 49th day of the year, having a life lesson number of 49. Revelation in the Bible is the book of prophecy and destruction. Prophecy has gematria of 106, like destroy. NASCAR happens to have the gematria of 106, and people watch for the destruction. Think about it. The word driving gematria of 106, Daytona Beach, Florida, where the season kicks off, where Dale Earnhardt died, 106, where his life was destroyed. The car he collided with was Ken Schrader, gematria of 106, and Ken Schrader drove the number 36 car. We're going to talk about why number 36 matters. Sterling Marlin was also in that accident. We'll get to that. Entertain has gematria of 106. You know, people watch for the entertainment, the destruction, the number 36 car hitting Dale Earnhardt. They said that he died from colliding into the wall at a high impact, and they instituted that Hans device, which we'll get to. But anyway, 36, here's why that matters. In Jewish gematria, prophecy is 666. In Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible, it teaches about the number 666. In Revelation, there's also a letter written to the Church of Philadelphia saying the false Jews will rule in the end times. Their name will be the synagogue of Satan. This gematria practice is a Jewish practice. In this world, we call the Jewish people, who are white. In the Bible, the Jews have dark skin. In the Bible, it says the false Jews will rule in the end times. Anyway, number 36, if you sum the numbers 1 through 36 together, it sums to 666. You see? All this prophecy, revelation coding, the 49th day. See how this comes together? We're not done. Here's the verse about Revelation 13:18. You know, the number of the beast. Dale Earnhardt Jr. drives the 88 car. They're asking who's going to replace number 88. Look at the gematria of beast. 88. The number 88 has a lot to do with time. So does what the beast is. The beast in the Bible is truly time. And look at what 88 is made up of. In Back to the Future, you know, you got a car in that movie, time traveling. They always time travel at 88 miles per hour. There's 4 circles in an 88. You know, you could make this number using 4 circles. A circle has 360 degrees. If you add up 360 degrees 4 times, it sums to 1,440. Every day there's 1,440 minutes. 24 hours times 60 minutes. In Jewish gematria, time equals 144. So does light. So does nadis. And in Buddhism, there's 144,000 nadis. Think about light and time. This numerical language, there's reason behind it. So they said that Dale Earnhardt died from blunt force trauma, which caused basilar skull fracture. The cause of death has gematria of 311, just like the phrase the beast in Jewish gematria. 311 is the 64th prime number. Blunt force trauma has gematria of 64, like synagogue of Satan, like do what thou wilt, the motto. In Revelation, it says the false Jews, the synagogue of Satan, will rule in the end times. They say he died at 5:16 p.m. Remember the 5 and 6 in there? Military time, that's 17:16. 17 plus 16, 33. Anyhow, just a little more information here just to show you how relevant this gematria study is going back with NASCAR in light of the time of death with the 5 and the 6. NASCAR was established by Bill France Sr., gematria 56, just like the name NASCAR. Also, just like all-seeing eye. And the all-seeing eye symbolism is about keeping the mind's eye of the masses on things the powers that shouldn't be want, such as distractions, such as professional sports, which are all rigged and scripted and truly wasting everyone's time, unless you don't mind watching these rigged, predetermined outcomes as they always are, including in NASCAR. The name Bill France Sr. also has gematria of 119, like all-seeing eye. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was born on the 119th day of the year. This is a special number. Think about how his death, it was just before September 11th, 11/9. The day he died, if you weren't alive then, or if you were younger, everyone felt the tragedy. I had never even watched a NASCAR race in my life, and the people around me didn't, but everyone was talking about it, and everyone was acting like they were down about it. And then it seemed like the whole world went Dale Earnhardt Sr. crazy. Next thing you know, everybody had a number 3 lawn chair, number 3 on the back of their vehicle. How much money was raised in the wake of Dale Earnhardt's death? And where did all of that money go? To NASCAR? All I can remember is number 3s were everywhere. Until September 11th happened, and then everybody replaced number 3 with the target of Osama bin Laden's face. Either that or they put it right up next to their number 3. But anyway, this number is special. Bill France Sr., 119, like all-seeing eye. Bill France Sr., also 205, like all-seeing eye. Israel has gematria of 205, the home of the synagogue of Satan. Star of David, the symbol of Israel, gematria of 119. Master plan 119. A lot of special things are 119. King James Bible, 119. You know, we're talking biblical here. Vatican, 119. Francis, 119. Pope Francis, Confession, 119. The headquarters of NASCAR is in Charlotte, NC, 119. And what is Charlotte, you guys? Do you know? Charlotte is where all the Zionists keep their money. Did you know that Charlotte is the second richest city in the entire U.S., only behind New York, because all the banks are headquartered there? So here was Dale Earnhardt, who made a lot of money for NASCAR through his death, born on the 119th day of the year. Either he faked it or he was murdered. Pretty sure they could have saved him based on the accident. NASCAR has seen accidents a million times worse and people walk away from them just fine. Even before the Hans device. I grew up with NASCAR and ESPN. I saw all the wrecks. That's why it was so shocking when he died. His wreck didn't even look that bad. But here's his birth numerology, April 29th, 1951. He had 103 birth numerology. 103 is the 27th prime. Revelation is the 27th book of the New Testament, the product of 3 cubed. Life lesson number 49, again, dead at 49 on the 49th day of the year. Race car 49, speed 49. Remember the premise of the movie Speed? The bus couldn't drop below 50 or it would blow up. That means if it went to 49 in the movie Speed, the bus would explode, Birth numerology of 84, United States of America 84, and the book 1984, a book about a nation like ours, always at war, where the people are intimidated by propaganda and distracted by sports. Check it out. Written by George Orwell, member of the Fabian Society, established in 1884. Dale died exactly 10 weeks before his 50th birthday. 10 weeks has gematria 42, just like 10. His son is retiring at age 42. Retire 42. I wonder, is this the way he retired from the sport at age 49? Getting up there in age. After his death, they instituted the Hans device. They fired Bill Simpson. Simpson equals 33, All this 42, it's the number of the Freemasons, who've always run this nation, who I'm sure established NASCAR. I got to do my radio show here. I would have done a little more research. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s announcement comes 168 days before his own birthday. I know that New York City is 168, Massachusetts 168. I don't know if there's NASCAR tracks in either of those locations. I'm sure there's something else with 168 I'm overlooking, but this will be the next piece if somebody wants to take it a step further. It's 168 days to his upcoming birthday, or a span of 169 days. It's 197 days from his last birthday, his 42nd, or a span of 198 days. This is from the retirement announcement to the last birthday and the upcoming birthday. These numbers are often significant. 197 is the 45th prime, Daytona Beach 45, where his father died. Hans device, also 45. I'm sure there's something more that I haven't caught yet, but if you want to take this a step further and unlock the next part of the riddle, it might foreshadow what he's going to do this year, like what racetrack he's going to win. Check the names of the tracks. I don't know the sport of NASCAR at all. I've never watched a NASCAR race in my life. I've seen a few laps here and there. But if you know the sport, you might be able to crack it. Use this gematria calculator, put in the names of the tracks, the locations. There'll be something there. Rest assured. The other man involved in the fatal accident of the father, Sterling Martin, his name has the 223 encoding like Masonic, also like Synagogue of Satan, special number. Look at the all-time winner, Richard Petty. Strictly stock from 1949, looks like until 1970, 119 wins. You think that's coincidental? Charlotte, North Carolina, the headquarters 119. This number is boss. And these leagues are all rigged by the numbers. David Pearson with 58, way behind. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Annuit Coeptus. Oh, also, Jeff Gordon, finishing with 93. 93, such a special number. The word final has gematria of 93 and 42. Speaking of retiring at 42. The number Saturn has gematria of 93 and 42. Saturn is the keeper of time. So, anyhow, Jeff Gordon, big star in the sport, probably the most popular. It seems like out of the people I know that follow NASCAR, the majority of them really like Jeff Gordon. I think he was the biggest star. Maybe I'm wrong. Just for the time being. But anyway, 93 wins for Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon has that gematria 55. When you write out 93, 55. If you study this what Saturn represents, it also has a major overlap with Satan, which is also 55. And again, we talked about Satan, God, 55, numerology, 55, Fibonacci, 55. The 10th Fibonacci number is 55, right? 5 plus 5 is 10. Also, if you count the numbers 1 through 10 and add them together, it sums to 55. You see? There's this very interesting relationship with 55, and then how it's coded into these special sequences. God and Satan. Special number, you know. So anyway, this is what it is. NASCAR is by the numbers. You can go back and do this to Richard Petty and all your favorite drivers. You'll see. The sports are scripted. Not just NASCAR, all of them. MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, tennis, MLS, you know, soccer leagues overseas. Anywhere it's pro, it's run by the Masons. You know, it's all about gambling and ratings and keeping the sport exciting. All right, Truth Seeker, I got to sign off and upload this because the radio show's next every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll link this down below in the description. If you just watched this video and maybe you've never seen my work before and you want to call in tonight and ask some questions, you know, feel free to. The number to call in is 213-233-3998. I'm on every week, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the West Coast, Pacific Standard Time. 9 p.m. to midnight out east. So that's in less than 20 minutes. Until next time, True